Many scenarios have been told about Goku being evil if he never hit his head, but this one is different. What if I told you that Goku hitting his head wouldn't turn him into a raging killer? Previously, we saw him struggling with his past, and remembering glimpses of what happened to Planet Vegeta. So much so that he ended up reviving his father with the help of the newly discovered Dragon Balls, and after going through a lot of sagas, they ended up even reviving Gine, with Raditz being next on the list. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on future parts. Now let's get into part 2 of what if Goku didn't hit his head. Gine is shocked at the sight in front of her. Last thing she remembers is being destroyed by Frieza. Is this a dream? Bardock and Goku embrace her and catch her up to speed on everything that's happened. Her husband vows that once they get back Raditz, they will come for Frieza together, and this time, they will win. Some time passes with Bulma casually visiting Goku to check in, and him being busy training with Bardock and Krillin. Gine prefers to stay out of the training. Even though she is a Saiyan, her liking is more towards cooking, so she just keeps everyone fed. However, Bardock does make sure to get her at least up to a power level of 1000, considering that her cannon power level is estimated to be about 500. It wouldn't be that difficult. The Tien Shinhan saga would start right about now, and nothing really changes except Goku winning because of his training. Bardock wouldn't participate. He just doesn't care about the problem between the two schools. But Goku and Krillin were more passionate about it, so they participated and even fought each other. Krillin ended up losing, of course, but Goku won against Tien. Tien is also even more convinced to join their side, or at least leave the Crane School in Shen. That same night, Krillin heads back to grab Goku's power pole for him, and we all know how this night is supposed to end for Krillin. Except, it doesn't. The much more powerful Krillin is able to dodge Tamborine's surprise attack, and easily takes him down. The children of Piccolo stands no chance. Bardock senses this going down, and informs the others who rush back to see what happened. Instead of finding a dead Krillin, they find Krillin standing on top of Tamborine. The group tries to interrogate him, but he won't give in. Roshi mummers Piccolo under his breath, and Bardock overhears. You know who this is, Roshi? Roshi says yes. No, I don't know. We need more information. Being a Saiyan and brutal in combat, Bardock steps up to try some different methods if you know what I mean. Tamborine gives in and reveals Piccolo's return, as well as a plan to gather the Dragon Balls and take out every martial artist. At the same time, Bardock hears a voice in his head, telling him where to go. Bardock doesn't know who this is or why he's the one being called, but for some reason he just follows it. The voice leads him onto the lookout, where he meets none other than Kami, who reveals everything he knows. After being told the entire story between Piccolo and Kami and all the children and Mutaido and stuff like that, Bardock is wondering what they're going to do with this Piccolo threat, because he put 2 and 2 together. If he and Piccolo are linked, then one cannot live without the other. And if Kami dies, then the Dragon Balls become inactivated, and if that happens, then they won't find out what happened to Raditz or bring him to the Earth. This is affecting Bardock specifically and directly now, so he asks what they can do. Kami explains that there is a way, but it requires training, but not the kind of training Bardock wants. Bardock is up for it though. He needs to learn the Mafuba. It would take too long for them to do it in the living world though. Kami realizes that Bardock is one to be able to survive in the Room of Spirit and Time, so he introduces him to it. Bardock is actually pretty excited to do this. He and Kami go in. Kami teaches the principles of the technique to Bardock, and then leaves, knowing he can't be in there for too long. Over 2 years is too much for even him. Bardock learns it with barely an hour passing in the real world. While the others were confused with what Bardock did, they figured he just went to kill Piccolo or something. While they were figuring out what to do with Tamborine, Drum attacks them, trying to free his brother, but Goku jumps in, blocking an attack on Bulma. He kicks Drum into the side of the ring, followed by a punch which sends him through it. Drum is knocked out too. Now they have 2 children of Piccolo under his wing. Goku flies away looking for Piccolo on his own. With 2 of his children gone, Piccolo is about to step in himself. He only has 2 of the Dragon Balls, which won't do for what he wants. He steps outside to have a word with his other children about what to do. But as he does, Bardock lands down right next to him, rice cooker in hand. Frantically, Piccolo tells his children to attack. Symbol and Piano do so without question, but just as they move in on Bardock, he moves places so quickly that he manages to get above them, using both his elbows to crush the 2 so hard that they get cut in half. Piccolo tries to fire Ki Blast at Bardock, but he dodges with a swift movement of his head. Without as much as a word, well, one word, Mafuba, he defeats the Demon King. With pretty much 2 weeks of training in the Room of Spirit and Time, he managed to mostly perfect the technique. And I mean 2 weeks in the room, not outside of it. It was like an hour outside. This is not only defeating Piccolo, but also means that there is no Piccolo Jr., and Bardock still gets the Dragon Balls to himself. He also requests one more thing from Kami: access to the Room of Spirit and Time with his son. It's about time to use the Dragon Balls once more, and this time, Bardock asks to revive his other son, Raditz. Shenron explains that Raditz is still alive, serving Frieza alongside General Nappa and Prince Vegeta of Planet Vegeta. Bardock is happy and confused. Wait, Prince Vegeta made it? Why is Raditz serving Frieza? He doesn't debate in his head. He just tells Shenron to teleport all three of them to his location. While taking over a planet for Frieza, all three of them appear in front of Bardock, who is shocked to see his son all grown up. Raditz is also shocked to see his dad again. He's caught up to speed alongside the two others, who are way more disrespectful to Bardock than Raditz is. Bardock respects Saiyan law and pledges his loyalty to the prince, which Vegeta accepts, but he asks why they were brought to this planet. Bardock explains that whatever Frieza told him about Planet Vegeta isn't true. He was the one who destroyed it. I tried to stop him, but his power was too great. But now we all have a second chance to take him down. Help me, Prince. Vegeta had his suspicions from the beginning, and it angers him to hear it confirmed. Very well, Bardock. I will do as you say. When does this training start? Now, Bardock replies. After meeting his little brother and mother again, Raditz finds a new purpose. He vows to train as hard as he can to take down Frieza, and the group of them aside from Gine go up to the lookout to ask Kami to train in the Room of Spirit and Time. Kami explains the rules. Everyone can only go in twice. 2 years in the room is all they get. The group agree and enter. In this time, everyone would get massively more powerful. Vegeta and Nappa already knew how to control their great apes, as well as Bardock, but Raditz and Goku would need to know, as well, and that's the main goal: master the great ape and improve base power. They managed to achieve that goal quicker than Bardock thought. He teaches them all to sense Ki, as they had to destroy their scouters immediately after arriving on the planet, so Frieza wouldn't know where they are. Sensing Ki is a much more accurate way of detecting power level, as well as finding out if someone is actually hiding their real power. The group all learn this, as well as making sure that their tails aren't a weakness to exploit. Now we have to do some estimation for power levels. This would be crazy growth for all of them. The Room of Spirit and Time is 10 times Earth's normal gravity. Now, the power scaling for this would be a lot more difficult if we didn't know that. Also, I know you guys must know about the food situation, and especially because Saiyans eat like pigs. They would probably need even more than a normal person. That's where Gine comes in. Before they started, she made months worth of food, and the group did take break from the room, because of that issue as well. Kami and Popo would need to replenish it, and with Gine and Bulma's help, they would be able to do so pretty easily. So that issue isn't that much of an issue. Back to the power levels though. We can use Goku's power level when he started training with King Kai as a starter for the multiplier we will come up with. In the original story, he was at a power level of 416 when he went to train with King Kai, and after training with King Kai, his power level was 8,000. Mind you, he only trained with him for 5 months. He spent the other, 7 on traveling on the Snake Way and getting trapped in hell and stuff. This is 2 years we're talking about. All we have to do is divide 8,000 by 416 to find out the multiplier which they would get. And that would end up being 19.23. That's the multiplier for every 5 months they spend inside the room. In total, they would spend 24 months, which would give them an estimated boost of 92 times. That's an insane boost for the likes of Bardock and stuff. But maybe it wouldn't increase Raditz's power level that much. I would say with the exception of Raditz, everyone there should be above the power level of 1000. Let's say Raditz is at 900, being generous, Nappa is at 3000, Goku is at 5000, Vegeta is at 10,000, and Bardock is at 15,000. Don't worry, I know you guys might think that I'm degrading Vegeta too much, but realize that he actually still has another 6-7 years to achieve the 18,000 power level that he would in canon. So I think 10,000 is fair to put him at for the time he is right now. But now we have to apply the 92 times multiplier to each of their respective power levels of current, from greatest to least. Bardock's at 1.38 million, Vegeta's at 920,000, Goku's at 460,000, Nappa's at 276,000, and Raditz is only at 82,800. Don't get me wrong, that's a massive power boost for the time that he is now, instead of the normal 1,500 he would be, but it's not as much as the others. We know for sure that Bardock is a strategist, and he knows that the team is only as strong as their weakest link. Raditz especially needs to bring his power up, but that doesn't mean Goku and Nappa get to chill out. They both would also need to bring their power up above 500,000, which is what Vegeta knew Frieza's power was. But he also told Bardock that he heard rumors Frieza had a transformation. So Bardock goes to the smartest person he knows, Bulma, to make gravity room for the 5 of them to train in. A suggestion from Vegeta. Bulma, with the help of Dr. Beast, with payment from Bardock with his tournament winnings, would make the gravity machine that reaches up to 100 times gravity. Bardock realizes what Goku did in the Cell Saga and lets his body rest while Vegeta works it to beyond the bone, trying to get him above Bardock and get the others to where they need to go. This backfires and puts him out of commission, but gives the other 3 a great boost in power. Goku reaches the same level as Vegeta, about 1 million, while Raditz and Nappa both get to 600,000. Bardock gets him some training as well, putting him at 1.5 million. The last step is to get some Senzu beans. Bardock has some spare, but not enough to suffice for all 5 of them. He goes to Korin and takes all of the Senzus he has, putting them at 10, 2 for each person. That should be enough, he thinks. Bardock thinks that he couldn't be more prepared. They use the gravity ship as a spaceship and fly off into space to the coordinates of Frieza Planet 79. Will the Saiyans be able to defeat Frieza? Find out next time. And that's where we'll be leaving things off for right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please hit that like and subscribe button. Turn on post notifications to get alerted when I upload a video, because a lot of you don't know when I upload or miss the video by accident. Check out the links in the description to support me and consider becoming a member. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.